Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn SST for class 8, chapter number 8, Devotional Paths to the Divine. You may have seen people perform rituals of worship or singing bhajans, kirtans or qawwalis, or even repeating the name of God in silence, and notice that some of them are moved to tears. This shows a various bhakti and Sufi movements. Means it intense devotion or love of God in the legacy of various kinds of bhakti and Sufi movement which have evolved since the 8th century. The first is the idea of a supreme God, and the lesson is begin. All living things pass through countless cycles of birth and rebirth, doing good and bad deeds. The idea that all human beings are not equal, even at birth, gain ground. Social privileges came from birth in a noble family or a high caste was the subject of many learned texts. You can underline these lines. The idea that all human beings are not equal, even at birth gain ground. Social privileges came from birth in a noble family or a high caste was the subject of many learned texts. Even many people felt uneasy with such ideas. They turned to the teachings of the Buddha or the Jainas for answers. The teaching of the Buddha and Mahavir could help break this cycle of a rebirth through personal efforts. Underline the line, the cycle of rebirth. What they have to break out? The cycle of rebirth through personal efforts. Others were all attracted to the idea of a supreme God. This could deliver humans from bondage if approached with bhakti. Means if you are going to bondage with this, you will approach bhakti. Shiva, Durga and Vishnu were worshipped through elaborate rituals. Means these are the supreme God, Shiva, Vishnu and Durga, and they were worshipped through elaborate rituals. The Puranas laid down that it was possible for devotees. Those are the devotees. For them it was possible. What it is possible? To receive the grace of God. Underline this line, students. They're going to receive grace of God regardless of their caste status. The idea of bhakti became more popular and popular. And even Buddhists and Jainas adopted these beliefs. Who adopted? Buddhists and Jainas. Now after this, a new kind of bhakti in South India emerged. Which are the two new kind of bhakti? Nayanars and Alveras. The two new religious movement emerged during the time. The Nayanars were saints devoted to Shiva and Alveras were saints devoted to Vishnu. Who were the devoted to Shivas? Nayanars. And who were the devoted to Vishnu? They are Alveras. They were sharply critical of the Buddhists and Jainas. They preached, what they have preached? Ardent love of Shiva or Vishnu as the path to salvation. Underline this line. What they have preached? They preached ardent love of Shiva or Vishnu as the path to salvation. The Nayanars and Alveras composed poems in praise of deities and set them to music. What they are composed? Poems in praise of deities and set them to music. Temples were also built around the shrines of saint poets. This strengthened the link between bhakti tradition and temple worship. What link it shows, students? Between bhakti tradition and temple worship. You can see the word is given hagiographies, means writing of saints' lives or religious biographies of the Alveras and Nayanars were also composed. You can see in this pink color box that the Nayanars and Alveras poems are composed, that names are given. There were total 63 Nayanars. How many? 63 Nayanars. And the best among them were Apar, Sambandar, Sundarar and Manikava Sagar. There are two sets of compilations of their songs, Tevaram and Trivakam. Tevaram and Trivakam. There are 12 Alveras. The best known were Periyalvar, his daughter Andal, Alvar and Namal Alvar. Their songs were compiled in the Divya Prabhabandham. Their songs were compiled in the Divya Prabhabandham. Philosophy and Bhakti. Shankara was born in Kerala in the 8th century. Who was born? Shankara in Kerala. He was an advocate of Advaita, which is the ultimate reality. He taught the Brahman was formless and without any attributes. You can underline, Shankara was born in Kerala in the 8th century, and even he was an advocate of Advaita, which is the ultimate reality. And he taught that Brahman was formless and without any attributes. He considered the world to be an illusion or Maya. Underline this word. The whole world to be an illusion or Maya. He advocated renouncing the world. He preached. What he preached? He preached adoption of the path of knowledge to attain salvation. Underline this line. He preached adoption of the path of knowledge to attain salvation. Next one is who? Ramanuja. Ramanuja was also born in Tamil Nadu. He was highly influenced by the Alvaras. And the best means of attaining salvation was through devotion to Vishnu. Means here also the word salvation is there. Underline the lines. The best means of attaining salvation was through devotion to Vishnu. He gave the doctrine that even after uniting with the Supreme God, one soul remained distinct. If you are uniting with the Supreme God, one soul remains distinct. The next is given is Baswanas and Virashaivism. Baswanas and Virashaivism. This movement began in Karnataka. It was a reaction to the Tamil Bhakti movement and temple worship. The Virashaivas argued for the equality of all human beings. Argued for the equality of all human beings. They were also against all forms of rituals and idol worship. Now next is given the sons of Maharashtra. The sons of Maharashtra. Many sons arose in Maharashtra. The most important were Gyaneshwar, Namdev, Eknath and Tukaram. Women is also there like Sakhubai, and the family of Chokha Mela belong to the untouchable Mahar caste. This regional tradition of bhakti focused on the Vithala. Vithala is also a form of Vishnu. These saint poets rejected. What they are rejected? Underline. All forms of ritualism and social differences based on birth. Means all the saints of Maharashtra, they all rejected what? All forms of ritualism and social differences based on birth. They preferred to live with their families and humbly serving fellow human beings in need. A new idea emerged as they insisted that bhakti lay in sharing the pain of others. Means what new idea emerged over here, student? That they all insisted that bhakti lay in sharing the pains of others. That is called the true bhakti. The next topic is given Nathpanthis, Siddhas and Yogis. The Nathpanthis, Siddhacharas and Yogis advocated renunciation of the world. They were critical of the rituals and the social order. The path to salvation lay in meditation. Underline the word, students. The path to salvation lay in meditation on the formless ultimate reality. And if you want to achieve this, they advocated intense training of the mind and body. Intense training of the mind and body. This was achieved through practices. You have to do a practice. What practice you have to do it? Like yogasanas, breathing exercises and meditation. Then only you can achieve the advocated intense training of body and mind. Means the path to salvation in meditation. The next is what? Islam and Sufism. Now you know that Sufis were Muslim mystics and they rejected outward religiosity. They emphasized love and devotion to God. They also emphasized love and devotion to God and compassion towards human beings. Islam propagated submission to one God. Means this shows they propagate the submission to one God. It rejected, what they rejected? Idol worship. It rejected the idol worship. Muslim scholars developed a holy law. Means they developed a holy law which is called Shariat. What the holy law is called, students? Shariat. Underline. That is the theology of Islam. The Sufis too rejected rituals and codes of behavior demanded by Muslim scholars. The Sufis composed poems expressing their feelings and a rich literature in prose, including anecdotes and fables. The great Sufis of Central Asia were The great Sufis of Central Asia were Ghazali, Rumi and Sadi. The Sufis developed elaborate methods of training using zikr, contemplation, sama, means singing, rags, dancing, breath control under the guidance of a peer. Means the master is called peer. Thus emerged silsilas, a genealogy of Sufi teachers, following different methods of instruction and ritual practice. Means here are the teachers. Which teacher? Sufi teachers. And they followed the different method of instruction and ritual practice. Many Sufis from Central Asia settled in Hindustan. The Chishti Silsila was one of the most influential order. It had teachers like Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti of Ajmer, Baba Farid of Punjab, Khwaja Nizamuddin Aulia of Delhi. The Sufi masters held their assemblies in their khanqahs or hospes. The name is given in the dark black color. Hospes means houses of rest for travelers, specially one kept by a religious order. The tomb or dargah of a Sufi saint became a place of pilgrimage to which thousands of people thrones. Means they all are faithful to thrones rate. Next is new religious development in North India. This was an age when Islam, Brahmanical Hinduism, Sufism, Bhakti and the Nathpanthis, Siddhas and Yogis influenced to one another. Craftspersons, peasants, traders and laborers thronged to listen to this new sense. Saints like Kabir and Guru Nanak rejected all orthodox religions. Who rejected? Saints like Kabir and Guru Nanak. Others like Tulsidas and Surdas accepted exciting beliefs. The other are also there. Who are the others? Underline all these lines, students. Tulsidas and Surdas accepted existing beliefs. Tulsidas conceived God in the form of Rama. Tulsidas conceived of God in the form of Rama. Tulsidas Ramcharitamanas is important as an expression of his devotion and as a literary work. You may have seen, no, Ramayana. Who wrote this? Tulsidas. The name is Ramcharitamanas, and that only become as an expression of his devotion and as a literary work. Surdas was an ardent devotee of Krishna. His composition to express his devotion. Shankaradeva of Assam laid emphasis on devotion to Vishnu. He composed poems and plays in Assami. The practice of setting up Namghrah or houses of recitation and prayer began by him. The tradition includes saints like Dadu Dayal, Ravidas and Mirabai. Underline all this. Now Mirabai became a disciple of Ravidas, a saint considered untouchable. Mirabai was a Rajput princess. Yes? But Mirabai became a disciple of Ravidas, a saint considered untouchable. She was devoted to Krishna. She was devoted to Krishna. Most of the works of saints were composed in regional languages. They were handed down orally from generation to generation. Next is a closer look, Kabir. Kabir was brought up in a family of Muslim julahas or weavers. His verse called Sakhis and Pad is said to be composed by him. Some of these were later collected and preserved in the Guru Granth Sahib, Panchwani and Bijak. Underline all these words, students. Some of these were later collected and preserved in the Guru Granth Sahib, Panchwani and Bijak. Kabir's teaching openly ridiculed all forms of external worship. The language of his poetry was Hindavi. Underline this line. The language of his poetry was Hindavi. It was a language widely understood by ordinary people. Means ordinary people also can understand the language of his poetry. And so the language is Hindavi. He also sometimes used cryptic language. Kabir believed in a formless supreme God. Kabir believed in a formless supreme God, that the only path to salvation was through bhakti or devotion. Bhakti or devotion. Next is a closer look of Baba Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak was also born at Talawandi. His followers ate together in the common kitchen. You know na? It is called langar. Yes. The sacred space created by Guru Nanak was known as Dharmashala. Guru Angad compiled the compositions of Guru Nanak. The three successors of Guru Angad wrote under the name of Nanak. The three successors of Guru Angad wrote under the name of Nanak. The beginning of the 17th century saw the development of a Gurudwara called Harmandir Sahib. Underline this name. The beginning of the 17th century saw the development of a Gurudwara called Harmandir Sahib. The Sikh movement began to get politicized in the 17th century. In which century they are politicized? 17th century. It culminated in the institution of the Khalsa by Guru Gobind Singh in the year 1699. Remember the year 1699. Guru Nanak emphasized the importance of the worship of one God. How many gods? Only one God. He insisted that caste, creed or gender was irrelevant for attaining liberation. He used terms like Nam, Dan and Insan for the essence of his teaching. He used terms like Nam, Dan and Insan for the essence of his teaching. Underline this line. This meant right worship, welfare of others and purity of conduct. What it means? A right worship, welfare of others, and purity of conduct. His teachings are remembered as Naam Japna Kirt Karna and Vanda Chakhna. Underline these lines. His teachings are remembered as Naam Japna Kirt Karna and Vanda Chakhna. Elsewhere, the 16th century was a time of religious ferment in Europe. One of the most important leaders was Martin Luther. Luther felt that several practices in the Roman Catholic Church went against the teaching of the Bible. He translated the Bible into German, and even he encouraged the use of a language of ordinary people. Many Protestant Christians trace their origins to the teaching of Luther. In this manner, students, you can understand the different subtopics of the topic devotional part to the divine. Thank you.